big game in college football this weekend is in Columbus, as Ohio State, still number 2 in the college football playoff rankings, hosts Penn State. The one-loss Nittany Lions up to 8th in those rankings. Now, it is the de facto Big Ten East title game. Last 3 years, the fourth quarter has been the difference in the game, as the winning team overcame a double-digit deficit each year between the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions. OSU will be welcoming Chase Young back to the lineup after serving a 2-game suspension for preferential treatment on a personal loan. Young's a half sack away from the school's single-season record held by Vern Golston. Ohio State glad to have what they call is the most dominant player in college football back in the lineup against Penn State.
Very excited. Are you excited? I mean, I think everybody should be excited. I think he's one of the best players in all of college football. I think our team's excited. I know the coaches are excited. I'm sure the fans are excited. Excited for him. I know it was hard for him not being in those last 2 games. I'm excited for him to get out and get back at it. And I think our team is excited too. I just think you got to remind him to go out and do your job and remember how you got here. And I think he will be excited, and I hope he is excited, and I hope he is a little ramped up on that first pass rush, and I hope he gets off the ball just a little bit faster than he usually does, because that would be really fast. But I think Coach Johnson will do a great job with him, and hopefully the first time he gets off the ball, it looks just like it had.
Chase has still been Chase. One thing about Chase, outside of him being a phenomenal football player, but he's a phenomenal teammate and leader. And I think that's one of the biggest things for him, that there was no drop-off within those aspects of who he is and his character. Even in practice from the sidelines, he's coaching guys up. He's telling them, hey, work on this, work on that. I saw this, especially with the young DNs that we have who had to play in those games when he was absent. So as far as how Chase has handled that situation, he handled it beautifully. So I'm proud of him and glad we got him back.
We just picked him up. We knew we know he's a strong guy inside, and he has brothers all around here in a family that supports him. So we're just around him, kind of encouraging him and saying that we got your back. So just going out there and playing for him, I think that was a big part, and kind of just proving to ourselves that fighting through adversity and playing through adversity helps us as a team, and I think it just made us stronger as a team. Just seeing him is back, of course. Of course, there's a little trash talk across the field, so just seeing him back is fun, and just getting to interact with him, of course, it's always a good time.
I mean, we could line him up here, line him up there. You guys all saw when we stood him up and moved him around. It's just I think he changes what they have to do. They have to account for him. They might have to slide to him. They might have to keep a tight end on him. They might now have to keep a back end on him. They're going to have to find ways so he's not one-on-one. They might have to get rid of the ball quicker. They might not be able to sit in the pocket and throw those deep developing routes that give you problems. So I think it's more so what are they going to do than what do we have to do. But so you saw a little bit of, okay, maybe we don't have to do this, but then you saw what's coming. Because our young D-line, they're coming. And then hopefully at next year at this point, one of those guys is being talked about the same way that Chase is being talked about. So you got to give a lot of credit to those young guys because they stepped up in practice, which was awesome. I mean, if you guys could have seen them practice when he was gone, I mean, it was impressive. And they all stepped up. And that's a credit to Coach Johnson and a credit to those young guys because they did a really good job when he was gone.